Mass chaos is hitting the London Silver Metal Exchange. Why? Because they've run out of silver. And that's a big problem. And we're going to talk about how this has occurred, what has happened, and what happens next. I've been warning you guys about this for several years now. And now the white precious metal, silver, is starting to explode upwards. We have a massive short squeeze happening. There's so many people trading this stuff without actually owning it. And now it's coming back to bite them and bite them hard. We're seeing aircraft being chartered, cargo planes to charter massive silver bars and fly them to London because they just ran out of physical silver. This is going to impact not only markets around the world, but this is a strategic metal that is used for military applications, and the United States and its allies running out of silver is a security issue too. All right, friends, we're going to walk you through some of this, what's going on, what's going to happen next with it, some opportunities that you're going to be seeing here, and kind of my thoughts on kind of where we are and where we're going to go with this. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and yeah. We're gonna dance on the graves of a bunch of bankers right now because there are banks that are starting to blow up over this right now. All right, silver was up about 4% yesterday, which is, it sounds like something, but you got to remember the hundreds of billions of dollars worth of shorts that are sitting on silver. It's become extremely popular to every time silver goes up in price to hammer it with massive shorts, which means you sell silver that you don't actually have. You have to go back in and buy that silver and return it from whoever you borrowed it from. Well, normally you just borrow it from someone else, right? Just go, okay, does anyone else have silver? Okay, let's go borrow it from them. And you can just keep playing the game and kick the can down the road. Last year, silver was at $30. Yesterday, it hit $52. Now, that's over a 78% increase in 1 year, massively up. Gold is up, just hit $4,100. There's a lot more gold out there in the world. When you look at above ground resources, like if you were to just go out there and say, I want to buy up all the gold in the world, and you said, I want to buy up all the silver in the world, there would be roughly the same amount of gold as there is silver. But of course, gold's much, much more valuable, even though the scarcity is about the same. Now, silver is used for a whole bunch of industrial purposes, solar panels, satellites, military applications. Basically, anything that needs high performance is probably using silver in it. Interceptor missiles, Tomahawk missiles, any other kind of smart missiles, smart munitions, they basically all use some silver. We've been talking about this for years, though. Stuff is wealth. Stocks, bonds, paper money, bank accounts, these are all promises from liars and thieves that they're going to give you something. Precious metals that you can hold are something real. Canned goods that you own and control are real. And we need to be getting through our brains the difference between fake and real. Because in this world of bankers lying and playing games, people are learning the hard way. Now, bankers in London thought they were so smart that they could just short silver. They could sell silver that they don't have, and because of course they'll be able to buy it at some point. Now, why were these bankers so confident about this trade? Because central banks, the United States Central Bank and the United States government and other Western governments have all worked hard to suppress the price of silver. This is important, and so we don't want the price to go up. And there's reasons for that, but it all comes back to the central bank. When you walked into a department store and you handed them a dollar bill and you got change, back in the 1950s, 1940s, you got silver back. If you go back and talk to George Washington and he sent you to go buy some bread or whatever like that, he would have sent you with some silver. This is money. It has been money for thousands and thousands of years. And in order to replace money with paper and convince people of it, they had to attack silver. As the dollar, paper dollar, decreases in value, you can't have silver massively increasing in value, or else people are going to be like, junk with that paper, give me some of that silver. So they had to suppress the price of silver, and they have, massively. And China kind of went along with it. Why? Because China's been buying up massive amounts of the silver at massive discounts. We're producing it under cost. You know, we're paying more to produce it, and then we're selling it for discount, and China's scooping it up, and other countries are too. So they don't want to rock the boat. But the problem is, at some point, you just run out of silver. And we're kind of at that point now. London, the bankers went to go borrow silver, and they got hit with 100% interest rate on borrowing silver. So if they want to borrow this coin for a year, of course they're borrowing giant bars of silver, they would have to pay 100% interest on it. That's kind of a lot. If you're using that to trade with, that means basically the silver would have to go negative into value for you to make money. Over the next year, it would have to go negative. It has to be worth like negative $1, negative $2 per ounce for you to make any money whatsoever. So if you're a short, you're like, this is terrible. I need to close out this position. Silver's been going up, and they're getting squeezed hard. Everyone wants to get out, and in order to get out, they have to buy silver. Turns out there's not enough silver in London. Spot price started yesterday at $1.40 over New York. So if you sold this in London, you'd get $1.40 more than you'd get to sell this in New York. Well, yesterday it expanded to $3 per ounce. So you can imagine these 1,000-ounce bars used for the exchanges. You move one of those to London, and you just made $3,000. Now, you could just rent an airplane seat and put a 1,000-ounce bar in that seat on the airplane, and you would make a lot of money. But what's actually happening is the traders are booking transatlantic freight cargo aircraft, and then they're loading them up with bars of silver. They're buying them in New York, loading them up, and then they're flying them to London. And it's not just going from New York to London, it's going from other places to London. They are literally loading up cargo planes full of silver in order to send them to London. It's that bad. 100% interest rates to borrow silver, which is crazy. $3 over spot premium on investment grade silver is crazy. This is Anna Jadia, Greenland Investment Management. There is no liquidity available currently. That is code for we can't loan you any silver. We don't have any. She also said, what we are seeing in the silver is entirely unprecedented. You have to go back to the 80s to see something like this. And in fact, it looks like it's worse. The Hunt brothers try to corner all the silver in the world. They try to buy up all the silver and then let it squeeze. They got the banks ganged up on them and took them apart. But that was just a couple of people trying to break the market. Now it's the market is moving forward and it's breaking the bankers. And this is going to cause this to go up quite a bit more because this isn't artificial. This is natural. People want silver, and there isn't enough silver to go around. And they've been faking it for so long. Now, as people realize that the paper promises of silver are not the same as actual physical silver, they're going to start demanding the physical silver, which is going to create a lot more demand. When you start even just the silver, just nobody else getting into silver, just the investors that are already in silver or think they're into silver, they pivot from a silver ETF that's sharing the silver with a bunch of people to actually an ETF where they purchase the silver. That's going to be a big shift. If they want the silver in their grubby little mitts, like rational people, they're going to find out that it's going to cost a lot more. All right, so Bloomberg is saying that the liquidity in London has nearly vanished, which means you can't buy it. Well, how much can you buy it for? You can't buy it. Okay, we'll say this is the price, but find me a seller that's going to sell it at that price. And that's where you start saying, well, I'll sell it to you $10 over spot. And because you can't buy it from anyone else, you're going to have to pay it. You're going to have to pay whatever I tell you you're going to pay. And we're seeing this is where this is going. And as this happens, the physical market, this is Bloomberg, traders short the physical market are struggling to find the metal, paying steep borrowing costs to maintain their positions. There is no liquidity available currently. That's from the officer at the Greenland Investment Management, which is actually in charge of actually physical metals there. The Trump administration is also, because it's not enough for just one thing to be happening at once, the Trump administration is currently reviewing critical mineral status for silver, which finds over half of its demand from industrial and technological uses, and which is now in its 5th year of deep supply deficits, which means we are using more silver than we're pulling out of the ground for 5 years running. Every year, we're disposing of silver, we're using it up. How are we using it up? Every time we fire off an interceptor missile, it has silver on board. You don't get that back. Every time you build a solar panel, there's silver in that. Every time we send one of the thousands of satellites that Elon Musk is sending up to space, each one of the satellites has silver on board. Silver batteries are used for military purposes and space purposes. Solar panels in space, as well as wiring. Silver is a very, very good conductor. It's in fact the best conductor that we know of. And it's really, really good. And so whenever you need it to work, you use silver. Now, we're not told all the applications of silver by the military, but I think it's sufficient to say that if all of our smart munitions use silver, it's going to be a pretty duh thing to label silver as a critical mineral. Now, with this historic short squeeze happening in London, it's starting to spill over into New York. And this is where we're going to see things get crazy. Because London is not insignificant. But New York is a bigger apple. And when we see this implode in New York, which is going to happen within days probably, we're going to see this implode around the world. And the price of silver could go up dramatically. We're talking about $100 an ounce easily. This could double in the next couple of days. So we're looking at some pretty big problems out there. Now, as it explodes upwards, I think a lot of weak hands or a lot of people who have been buying up silver are going to start selling it as they see the price start getting to absurd levels, like, absurd compared to where it was, like $100 an ounce. People are going to be like, well, I think I'll sell some of that. but we're not going to see enough because these dealers need investment grade silver, which you can't just cough that up. For it to be certified investment grade silver, plus there's going to be a lot of people trying to buy into silver. As it starts going vertical, people are going to want more of it. It's going to be a big, big deal. All right, so what are my thoughts on this? One, $100 an ounce is not crazy talk. $100 an ounce is, I think, inevitable almost right now. It's just kind of a matter of time. So is it too late to buy silver? No. Fair valuation is probably around $150 to $200 an ounce. Fair valuation. Historical valuation is somewhere between $200 to $400 an ounce. Now, gold is cool and everything, but like, what do you actually use gold for? Silver, you actually need it for stuff. And if you start a shooting war at people, you're going to need silver. And you're going to use up a whole lot of silver shooting at each other. Explosives, artillery shells use small trace amounts of silver as well. So all that to say, there's going to be a lot of silver used up, and the silver mines are slowing down and shutting down. So is it a good time to get in on it? It's like a fruit tree, right? When's the best time to plant a fruit tree? 10 years ago. The second best time to plant a fruit tree is today. So when's the best time to buy silver? 10 years ago. When's the second best time? Right now. So I recommend jumping into silver if you can. Gold is probably going to keep on going up, but it's going to track inflation a little more. Silver has been manipulated, suppressed, and just they've been playing with it, investment bankers, for many, many years. It was $20 an ounce when I started this channel, and now it's $52. So, is it a good investment? Well, yeah, it's a pretty good investment, and it's not just protecting your wealth, but it's also realizing that its value is significantly more than what it is. It's more scarce, more useful than a lot of other things. So anyway, that's what's happening with silver, and it's blowing up. The borrowing costs are exploding in London. It's also starting to explode in Zurich and Singapore. The Japan Bullion Market Association says, I have never seen rates like this in silver in 39 years in the market. That was Bruce Ikimizu, Chief Director of the Japan Bullion Market Association. It's happening in Japan too. It's going to go worldwide. The massive short squeeze is underway. And I can't tell you how many millions of ounces of shorts are on the market that as this goes up, they are going to get forced to buy. It's going to get exciting and interesting next little bit. If you thought things like was it AMC and GameStop exploding upwards, meme stocks was a big deal, that's nothing compared to about what's going to happen with silver. All right, friends, hang on to your britches, and if you have silver, you're going to be happy in the next little bit. If you don't have silver, you might want to get in on it, or just watch as the bankers cry. However you want to do it, but that's kind of the direction this is going. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.